This is the Daughter of Dessalines broadcast, and I wanted to talk about those who feel like they have the privilege to ignore all the rapid changes happening in America. Just this week, a former mutual asked me to unfollow her because she was offended at the idea that I said that all Black and brown people in this country are in the same boat. And as you would imagine, the very next day, I read two alarming updates coming from the White House that proves that we are all a target.
Wow, they did it. The Supreme Court has officially limited nationwide injunctions. This is a huge win for the president. What's a nationwide injunction? It's basically an order from a federal judge stopping an action for the whole country, not just their district. And as a reminder, this is basically what's been holding the line against DJT and his team and their implementation of all their Project 2025 agenda and goals.
The President of the United States is also trying to deploy U.S. armed forces on citizens of the United States in California. Guess what? A federal judge blocked it. He also tried to require birth certificates in order to register to vote and basically put a stop on mail-in ballots. And a federal judge blocked that too.
And the court today said, hey, actually, you can't do that anymore. The decision was a 6-3 split on the usual conservative and liberal line. Just so effectively, what the court here is saying is no matter how wrong or unconstitutional or illegal the executive's policy is, federal district judge in New York, California, Seattle, wherever, cannot stop him, at least not on behalf of the entire country.
Mind you, the federal courts already paved the way for this larger ruling last year when the Supreme Court basically gave ICE and the police lawsuit immunity while also negatively impacting our right to protest. Basically, there were nationwide injunctions blocking President Donald Trump's executive order ending birthright citizenship for certain people born in the U.S. To everyone arguing that Black Americans cannot be targeted by ICE because we are citizens, our citizenship is an amendment to the Constitution. Because the original idea of the 14th Amendment was to grant citizenship to recently freed slaves. And does it necessarily mean we're going to get rounded up by ICE tomorrow? No. However, these laws make it more difficult to challenge lawless state violence. This actually emboldens racists and causes an uptick in hate crimes nationwide, as well as an uptick in crimes against women and children. As if being Black and brown in America wasn't already a game of Russian roulette, this only adds to the risk. I reposted this immigration lawyer on my TikTok page talking about how those detainment centers that are popping up all over the United States are basically work camps where people work for less than $1 a day. These detainment centers are primarily owned by a corporation called the GEO Group, which is a publicly traded company. Publicly traded means that there is going to be a supply and demand. Do we honestly believe that lawless ICE agents are going to stop with only one or two ethnic groups when it comes to massive supply and demand? Which brings me to my second point about this one big beautiful bill that is currently in circulation right now. This bill basically puts the United States in a pole position.
16 million Americans who will lose health care, hundreds of dollars added to electricity costs, millions of manufacturing and construction jobs threatened, biggest ever cut in food assistance for families, kids, and veterans, increase the deficit by $4 trillion, hand out $1 trillion in tax cuts for millionaires and billionaires. They're also upgrading the budget for ICE from $3 million to $48 million. And make no mistake, the cuts being made to Medicare are solely to give money to the wealthy. The United States wants to bring back production that they have paid nothing for everywhere else to the United States and paid you nothing for it. And they want to have these billionaires be the ones who own the private industries. Those are the people that are going to own the factories and own the private industries that they are going to now put all of the slave labor that they are getting from the deportees and the criminals that they're putting in these huge prisons to make slave wages for. Call your representatives. And don't just say, hey, I don't want you to vote for that. Say, get down on the floor, shut it down.
A collective decline in the quality of life of even the lowest common denominator in America means a collective decline in the quality of life for all of us.